Hey guys, I am back again with another book haul. This is actually two book hauls combined, sort of. It features books that I ordered from Thrift Books that I mentioned. A couple of them I mentioned in another video, and then I received the others in a series, and then a couple of their books. And then I also got in my order from Frugal Bookstore in Roxbury. So I have those books that I ordered from that. And yeah, so let's just go into all of the books that I kind of purchased. So, alright, first up is the books that I got from Frugal Bookstore. And they are a black-owned bookstore in Roxbury, Massachusetts. And I found them online on a list of black-owned bookstores. I left that on one of my previous videos. I will link it down again below, just so you know. There have been many requests for books. Everyone's trying to do their best to be more informed and also try to support black-owned businesses. But of course that has been kind of overwhelming with the amount of orders that they've gotten. So just be forewarned, they might be out of stuff right now, or it might just take you a while to get it. But their last update I saw was that they're still filling orders and whatnot. So anyway, the books that I purchased. So first up, I got Almost American Girl by Robin Ha. I actually have already read this. I read this the other day, and this is a graphic novel memoir of sorts of Robin Ha's kind of teen years when she was uprooted from South Korea and ended up in the South in America in the 90s, mid to late 90s, which was a bit of a culture shock. This was just a great read. I'll talk more about it in my wrap-up. It has some really nice artwork throughout. There's also a lot because Robin Ha is, of course, obviously an illustrator and an artist, and she was very much into comics and manga, so there's also a lot of that kind of in here as well, and as someone who loves manga, that's pretty fun. But this is a really good read. Next up, I also grabbed I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou. I have actually been meaning to read this for a very long time. I know it's usually assigned during school or something, but this was not one of the ones that we were ever assigned. This is, of course, Maya Angelou's memoir of her childhood and growing up with the consequences of something terrible that happened to her when she was a young girl. And I'm not too far into it right now. I'm only on chapter 4. It is kind of a hard read already, and I know that's just going to kind of increase probably, but I know also that it's a very important read. But yeah, so I got that. And then I also picked up, actually, the next couple of books as well are also memoirs. I picked up All Boys Aren't Blue, and this is by George M. Johnson. He calls it his memoir manifesto, and this is all about growing up queer and black in the South. I believe he was in the South. No, just in America. But I know that not everyone likes using the term queer, so I apologize if that's like offensive in any way. That's just how it was described in the inside cover. But yeah, this looks like this will be a interesting read as well. And then I also picked up Dreams from My Father by Barack Obama. This is, of course, President Obama's memoir of his childhood, and also on his journey of finding more about the history of his parents. And yeah, I think most people know about this book for the most part. But yeah, so that's on my list too. I also, in my other video, you saw I have the Michelle Obama's memoir as well. I might try to read these around the same time. But then I also grabbed Hidden Figures, which is by Margot Lee Shetterly. And this is, of course, you can see the movie jacket, movie cover, excuse me. And this is, of course, what the recent-ish movie is based off of. It follows a group of Black female mathematicians who basically helped us go into space, but not really much is taught about them in schools for the most part. I know I never knew about this at all. Then again, we didn't really cover too much about the space program, to be honest. But yeah, this was never mentioned at all. I had no idea until I heard about the movie that there were any women at all involved in the early days of NASA and figuring out how we could possibly get into, actually into space. So this follows these women from World War II when they were called up due to the job shortage, or rather the shortage of men to have these traditionally male jobs. And it kind of follows through into the Cold War. And yeah, this is going to be pretty cool. And then the last that I got from that bookstore was The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison. I have read a couple of other of Toni Morrison's books before. I do believe this is her first. Yes, this was her first novel. And this is all about a young girl who is very much dealing with the fact she does not like the way she looks due to society, basically, and it's a big discussion on race and class and gender and all of that. So I think this is going to be a very powerful read as well. So that is all of the books that I got from Frugal Bookstore. And then I have a stack here of other books that I got from Thrift Books as well. First up, I grabbed The Murder on the Links, which is a Hercule Poirot, Agatha Christie mystery. Like I said in another video, when I find a cheap Agatha Christie, I have a really hard time resisting. And this is actually one that I have not read before, so I snapped it up. And it is, a dead guy's finding a golf course, hence the links. So there you go. Next up, I saw this on there. It is Black Klansman, and it is by Ron Stallworth. This is another memoir, and of course this is what the recent-ish movie that's on Netflix is all about. It is about the first black detective in the Colorado Springs Police Department, and how he came across an ad for the KKK and decided to pass himself off with the help of another detective to infiltrate the KKK. And I don't know, I haven't seen the movie yet. It looked really good and also incredibly funny at the same time. So yeah, I think this is going to be a very interesting read. I love mystery and detective stories anyway, and just the ridiculousness is just wonderful. This guy is awesome. So yeah, this is going to be a pretty cool read. And then the last books I got was actually all from the Heroes of Olympus series. I read Percy Jackson. I wasn't like a Percy Jackson kid growing up. I was very, very, very heavily into Harry Potter. So I didn't read the Percy Jackson series until I was an adult, like 4 or 5 years ago. But I had been meaning to read more of Rick Riordan's stories, but just never got around to it. And when I found these fairly cheap on Thrift Books, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna be having a lot of heavy books, which I mean is good. I need to expand my horizons, but I know me, and I know I'm going to stay up all hours of the night, really extremely anxious. So I figured I'd thrust in some kind of adventure-y stories in between. So I grabbed this whole series. So I've got The Lost Hero, The Son of Neptune, The Mark of Athena, The House of Hades, and The Blood of Olympus. And that is pretty much that. That is that for my books that I ordered. I do have 2 more. That is from SO1 Books. I'm just waiting on, and that will pretty much conclude all of the books that I am allowing myself to get right now, because it is now officially out of control. I kind of need to do a bit of an unhaul, so that will most likely be my next video, potentially, will be me going through my bookshelves and just really, really deciding about whether or not I still enjoy something enough to keep it or whatever, because yeah, I am officially completely and utterly out of room. There's gonna have to be like stacks now, so yeah, I need to do something about that. But there you have it. These are, oh no, these are all of the books that I purchased after I said I wouldn't buy anymore. But yeah, one day I will actually keep that promise to myself and everyone else. But yeah, so this is a big stack of the books. As you can see, I have even more reading to do because life. So I'm going to get off and do that. I hope that all of you are well and that your reading is going wonderfully. Thank you. Bye.